Many of us wake up tired, work until our eyes burn, and collapse back into bed, only to realize that despite all that high-speed spinning, we are exactly where we were 6 months ago. We clear out inboxes, sit through back-to-back meetings, and grind away on side projects. Yet the long-term milestones, the goals that actually define a life, haven't budged an inch. We are taught to diagnose this paralysis as a personal failing. The standard advice suggests we simply lack discipline, or that we just need to wake up earlier and work harder. Putting in peak effort while remaining stationary is a sign of structural failure. When you are exhausted but stuck, the problem isn't your work ethic, it's the architecture of your goals. This photograph captures the structural problem perfectly. A driver sits on a wooden cart, holding the reins of 3 horses pulling in completely different directions. Notice the physical strain. The horses are generating significant force, their muscles are tense, and they are clearly tired. But because their energy is divided, the cart stays rooted to the spot. Effort without alignment results in paralysis. A divided mind reaches nowhere. To fix this, we have to look at the physics of how energy actually moves, specifically the difference between speed and velocity. In physics, speed is a scalar quantity representing magnitude. As this particle bounces chaotically inside the sphere, its speed is high, but it lacks trajectory. Velocity is a vector adding unified direction, pointing straight north. To create movement, your energy needs focused direction. Without that direction, all the energy you pour into your day is just generating heat and noise. You aren't creating progress, you're just vibrating. We can apply this vector model to the way we manage our modern ambitions. You might have one powerful vector pointing toward a specialized career, requiring deep focus and long hours. At the same time, you might introduce a second vector, a demanding side hustle or lifestyle choices that pull your attention in the opposite direction. We are often encouraged to stack as many goals as possible into our lives, rarely stopping to consider the angles at which these desires collide. When 2 large opposing arrows push against the same center point on this chart, the forces compete for dominance. Mathematically, equal and opposite vectors result in a net zero force. The magnitude is high, but the displacement remains exactly 0. This state of net zero creates a significant structural load on the mind. We spend a vast amount of internal energy just managing the tension of these contradictions, holding ourselves together while we are being pulled apart. The feeling of burnout often stems from this internal friction. We assume we are tired because our work is heavy, but we may actually be tired because our goals are actively sabotaging one another. This is why typical hustle advice often backfires. It tries to solve a net zero problem by simply demanding more effort. If horses pull in opposite directions, whipping them harder only increases the strain on the cart. Increasing the magnitude of your work while the directions are conflicted just accelerates your mental exhaustion. Progress requires a shift in focus. You have to stop trying to increase the strength of the pull and start correcting the direction of the vectors. This requires ruthless elimination. You have to unhitch the horses that are pulling against you, or retrain every aspect of your life to pull toward the same primary objective. As you align your daily actions with a single objective, the internal friction begins to dissipate. Work starts to feel less like a struggle against yourself and more like a process of synchronization. On a graph, these aligned vectors no longer cancel out. By stacking them tip to tail, you create compounding velocity using the same amount of energy you were already spending. Sustainable momentum is the result of focused geometry. You don't need to work 3 times harder. You just need to point all your existing energy in one